PowerBoat Television is brought to you by Yamaha. Conquer water with Yamaha. Cruisers Yachts. Luxury yachts and bow riders for all your adventures. And BoatBuys.com. 60,000 new and used boats for sale.
Hey everybody, welcome to PowerBoat Television. You might recognize this fine-looking fella beside me from last season. This is Chad Buchner. How are you? Manager of Operations for the Trent-Severn Waterway. How's it going?
It's going great, Steve. Thanks for having me back.
Anytime. Now, we heard from you, the viewers, that you really liked that section of the Trent we did last year with the Peterborough lift lock and everything. So we're back again doing a different section of the Trent. Chad, we're here in Orillia. Where are we going?
Today we're gonna start here in the Orillia and we're gonna head north. We're gonna get a real mix today, Steve. We're gonna get some good open water, we're gonna do some rivers, and we're gonna see some of the highlights along the Trent-Severn Waterway. We're gonna see the largest single lift at Swift Rapids.
Nice.
And I know a lot of the viewers, they really wanted to see you drive something.
Big
the
Chute.
only thing you like it in North America. So, Steve, you're gonna get a whirl at the Big Chute Marine Railway today.
Awesome. All right, so we'll launch here. It's a popular spot, but I think we see a window right now, so let's get these ready.
Let's get her going.
The Port of Orillia is entirely transient docking and has a great ramp, but it can be popular, so make sure you're ready to rock before pulling up to keep the line moving. It's a short but fun rip north from Orillia on Lake Couchiching up to Washego. We're heading towards our first lock of the day, but it's actually the last lock built on the system.
Smile, you're on PowerBoat Television.
In the height of the summer, you'll see everything from WaveRunners to day boaters to cruisers. All have to respect the speed limit though.
So, Steve, that's what makes this part of the system so unique. We get the open waters of Lake Couchiching, Sparrow Lake, and of course, Lake Simcoe mixed in with the Severn River here as well. So it literally is enough for everybody. But the one thing I always caution boaters when they're traveling through the system, as you can see, the orange sign behind the cruiser is the 10 kilometers an hour sign. We really ask our boaters to really respect the wake when they're going through, especially in these narrow channels. As you can see, you know, some of the shoreline here and the granite outcrop here, we want to make sure we're protecting that for future generations as well.
In a sense, cruising along slowly on high-performance WaveRunners is a little like taking a Ferrari on a slow Sunday drive. But they're really comfortable to putt along on. And this pace gives you a chance to talk to your riding partner and to take in the scenery. From Washego, it's only 1.5 nautical miles, or less than 3 kilometers, to Lock 42.
So this is the first lock we're coming up to today. This is Couchiching.
Yeah, we're coming into Couchiching Lock. This was the connector piece for the Trent-Severn Waterway. Well, the first lock was built in 1833 in Bobcaygeon. This is our newest. Couchiching Lock was constructed and completed in 1920, completing the link of the entire Trent-Severn Waterway. So it connected Lake Ontario to Georgian Bay.
So before we go in, like, get lines ready, right?
Yeah, let's get the lines ready.
Hey, you like how sturdy these new ones are? You can just stand up and you're fine.
You just gotta watch your belly when you're leaning over them. We're not hitting the throttle.
Settle down.
We should have no issues in going in or space, but a lot of times when you're coming in, follow the lockmaster's direction so they can make sure they can fit all the other boats into the lockage with us. So it looks like our lockmaster Cam is comfortable with us coming in on this side, so let's bring her on in and you can be the guest. Ooh. You are my guest today.
I like it.
Not much traffic today, but there can be. The Couchiching Lock is pretty standard for the Trent, a drop of about 20 feet or 6 meters, and within a few minutes, you're back on your way.
So what's the painted blue mean?
It's really the boater communication tool to let our lock staff member know that you want to head through the actual lock. So it's a temporary holding area for boats wishing to pass through.
From Lock 42, it's about 3.5 nautical miles to Sparrow Lake, where you can open up the throttles once again. Later in the show, we go through the biggest drop of any lock on the system and cross the one-of-a-kind Big Chute Marine Railway.
We're going to take a look at an upscale sport boat from Formula, the 270 Bow Rider. We're going to take a look at an upscale sport boat from Formula, the 270 Bow Rider.
Known for quality and craftsmanship, Formula is a performance boat builder that delivers a premium experience you can see and feel. From the exotic Imran paint to the newly designed low-contrast helm console, upscale features are found everywhere. Our test boat was equipped with the more powerful 430 horsepower Mercruiser 8.2 Mag HO, and it makes its presence known right away.
There's nothing quite like the sound of a big block.
With so much low RPM thrust, the Bravo 3 X-Drive is a huge bonus when maneuvering near a dock. She's not a rocket out of the hole, but getting on plane in under 5 seconds isn't bad for a boat weighing over 6,000 pounds with a dead rise of 22 degrees.
You can feel the quality in the way the hull's made. It rides so solid and firm. It's not a lightweight boat, but you can feel the strength built into it.
That offshore hull design makes for a very smooth ride. Crossing our camera boat's wake presented no drama at all.
The conditions get choppy. There's no doubt a Formula Sport boat will be able to handle those conditions.
As far as handling goes, the steering is light and relatively quick.
There's a fair bit of roll when she's in the corners, and don't be afraid to give her a bit of throttle. She's not a light boat. You can use all 8.2 liters to help bring her around. A set of Bennett trim tabs is not often found on a 27-foot boat. In Formula, not only do you get the tabs, but you get the LED indicators as well. It's really nice to have a set of Lavorsi gauges, and of course, these ones come rung with blue LED bezels.
Let's take a closer look at some of the details on this premium 27-foot bow rider. Starting at the bow, you will find LED navigation and docking lights, 2 bow cleats with Formula insignias, and an anchor locker accessed by a flip-open hatch covered in non-skid. A windlass is optional, as is a stainless reboarding ladder. The bow layout is quite impressive with its versatile modular seating. You have the typical forward lounge positions to either side with built-in armrest and storage below. But the center cushions are removable, which allows 4 people to sit across from each other. Add the removable pedestal table, and you have a perfect spot for a bite to eat. As we head towards the cockpit, you may notice the walk-through windshield is held in place with a locking spring latch instead of a strap. Just another example of Formula's attention to detail. The head compartment behind the port console is accessed by a concealed locking door. Our test boat had the gray wash wood grain finish flooring and the standard porta potty. Upgrade to a manual or vacuum flush toilet, and you get a 13-gallon holding tank.
Not the largest head in the world, but will definitely do in a pinch. And of course, Formula even provides a window, just in case.
Versatility continues in the cockpit. The double-wide helm seat and port-side lounge both have pivoting backrests, allowing you to sit facing forward or aft. Flip both backrests forward, and you have an L-shaped lounge on each side of the boat for true wraparound seating.
A recent update to the 270 is they've made the sun lounge wider, but they've also made the rear bench seat convertible to extend the sun lounger. So now you really do have a comfortable spot to sit, either watch a sunrise or a sunset, or just stay close to the people in the water.
However, rear bench seat storage is only accessible when the seatback is in the sun lounge position.
And something always impressive about formulas is the size and scope of their swim platform. It's a 3-foot 5-inch platform, something you don't find on some 30-foot boats. But again, the execution and attention to detail of formula, they provide a wraparound stainless grab bar that goes all the way around, not just to grab on from the water, but also to offer protection to the swim platform in case you're near a dock. But that's not all. They offer handholds on top as well, depending on how you want to board. All of the features aside, I just can't help but admire the quality of a formula. And it's not just the quality of the materials, but it's the execution of them from the helm seat all the way to the swim platform.
Raises and lowers boats by 47 feet, and we do it in a record time here, Steve. This lock from start to finish operates in 6 minutes.
Welcome back to the Trent-Severn National Historic Waterway and to Lock 43, Swift Rapids. This is actually the single biggest lift or drop anywhere along the system.
Raises and lowers boats by 47 feet, and we do it in a record time here, Steve.
That's the same as the Welland Canal freighter locks.
This lock from start to finish operates in 6 minutes. So this is definitely the lock station where you want to have your lines looped and not tied to these cables that hang over the lock station walls.
I noticed you're projecting a little more, giving the tour and the info to all our fellow boaters here.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Wave. Nice. That was cool, man.
It's cool.
It goes so fast it like looks like a time lapse.
You don't even realize how fast it actually goes.
We just came out of Swift Rapids Lock. You can see how big it is. It's because we're going around that. And Chad, that's a lot of water that's moving.
Yeah, we always say when you see those dams flowing like that, exercise extreme caution, especially anywhere in and around or any water associated with the dam structures.
That's a lot of water that's moving. And we're pretty far away from it, and I can feel it. It's been flowing like this for weeks.
Since March.
From here, it's only 2 nautical miles to a popular waterfront restaurant, the Wabick, famous for its fish and chips, so we took a break from the sun, albeit briefly. I was rather excited for the next lock, and after a 5 nautical mile run, we're there. Big Chute Marine Railway. The only one of its kind anywhere in North America.
This is your big debut, buddy. You've been waiting for this one for a while. I'll allow you to go first.
Oh, I know.
And looks like you're gonna go in on the left side.
Okay. They'll say where to go, how far up?
You're gonna go right to the very front on the left side.
Cool. So you told me if I could drive this, I have to have done my research.
Yes, have you been doing your research?
We'll see. Now, the Big Chute Marine Railway was first built in 1917.
1917, the first cart was constructed. That is correct.
Okay. And it was a railway instead of a lock because 1917, still in the height of the Great War, now World War I. So expertise, money, and materials in shorter supply. And it's a lot cheaper and easier to lay a couple rails than blast through all this rock, correct?
At that time, Steve, I'm very impressed right now. You have done your homework. I'm very proud of you right now.
Nice.
I think with round 1, I think we're getting closer to letting you up there at the cart. Your lock master degree is almost complete, but one more.
Okay.
So we constructed this in 1917, but this cart obviously is not from 1917. This cart was constructed in 1978. Why at that point would we use this cart and not continue with the lock?
because it's like a tourist attraction. Look, there's people down here watching and waving, and it's so popular, just kept it.
That is a
maybe?
good try. That is
Yeah?
a good try. So you didn't pass that one there. So at that time, Steve, there was concerns with the sea lamprey and what sea lamprey were doing within the fishing industry. Sea lamprey was discovered in the body of water just below us as we're coming down over the 60-foot height differential here. We had a biologist here for the last 2 weeks, and they were looking over all the boat traffic coming in and out, and they discovered a sea lamprey on one of the boats passing through. That sea lamprey fell within the first few meters of the lock going over the cart. At that point, they decided that to save the fishing industry, we would remain with the actual Big Chute Marine Railway. So it's been in existence ever since, and this cart here has been in operation since 1978.
It takes about 15 minutes for the entire ride, and on a busy weekend, they can handle as many as 180 boats in a single day. And thanks to the clever dual track design, the cart stays level as you go up, over, and down.
Okay, so here's a question I'm sure you get all the time here. What happens if, machines break and things like that? What if it breaks down? Do we just go rolling for a ride down and splash in and put our arms up like a log flume?
We do not have speeding roller coasters at this spot. There's actually redundancies built in. So any kind of a breakdown or a malfunction, the cart will stop right where it is. Thanks, guys.
Homework done and riding experience under my belt, I think I'm now ready to take control.
Whoa. That's a long way down.
Welcome aboard the Big Chute.
Hey. How are you? Good, how you doing?
So this is our new lockmaster for the day.
Yeah, let's do this thing. I have no training and limited experience.
But I thought you said you did all your homework.
Oh, yeah, I Googled some stuff.
There's too much cool stuff they showed us to share here, so to see our full behind-the-scenes tour of the Big Chute Marine Railway, head to PowerBoatTV.com.
In Peterborough, you let us dine under the lock. What can we do here? Can we have lunch out here?
I don't know if that's a good idea, Steve. I know you're hungry, though, and I know you really want to eat.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Let's go, follow me.
Intrigued. So this is the old girl?
This is the old girl here. Constructed in 1923, and we ran her until the 2000s.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's like the old school, just 2 tracks down that hill.
2 tracks right down that hill to the other side.
You drop off there pretty good.
Yeah, should be on a pretty good perch going down here, yeah.
Scared it clean out of your pants.
We don't want that.
No.
When we come back, we continue through the final lock and into the big water of Georgian Bay. From the Big Chute Marine Railway, which you can drive to by car just to check it out if you want, it's about an 8 nautical mile run that weaves through the islands and channels to get to Lock 44.
Welcome to Port Severn, Steve. So this is our Port Severn lock station. This is the smallest lock that we have on the Trent-Severn Waterway. It's 84 feet and usable, but it's only 23 feet wide.
Why is it so small?
Well, back in the 1900s, so in 1914, we committed to building the last part of the Trent-Severn Waterway, and that was Port Severn up through Swift Rapids. But at that time, we started construction of this lock back then. But
World War I get in the way?
World War I got in the way, and that really reduced the amount of labor and the amount of qualified people that we had to build locks. So at that point, we built what we call a temporary lock. So this lock here was constructed back then, over 100 years ago, as a temporary lock, and it still remains intact and operational from its temporary status back then.
So depending which way you're going, this is either your last lock or the first lock, right?
Yeah, that's right, Steve. So after we break these lower gates, we'll be entering into Georgian Bay and either the ending or the beginning of the Trent-Severn Waterway.
So I imagine it's fairly busy?
Fairly busy. As you can see with the smaller size, the lock staff here, they're locking around 8,000 boats a year, and this is the Trent-Severn Waterway workout plane, because it's the busiest manually operated lock that we have on the system.
Man, you guys are moving some water here too, eh?
Yeah, a little bit of water coming through there. So watch our current when we get in here, when it hits us on the side of the boat.
When you leave this lock, The current is rocking along pretty well, so you gotta pay attention and stay on the throttle as you get through the bumps and waves and this foamy stuff.
It's phosphate, right? So it's just like the same stuff that's in soap. That just from the constant turning, the dams are like filtering the water and cleaning the water as well.
Like
So it's just
oxygenating
stirring
the
it up,
water and everything?
oxygenation, yeah.
This is one of those times I wish we could cue that "the more you know" banner. Anyway, heading under the highway bridge, you have to follow the channel markers, and with that current, it can feel a bit tight. But very quickly, it calms down and opens up.
It's one of those things when you really look around, it's like, man, this is in our own backyard.
Yeah.
How beautiful it is. It's gorgeous.
We should gather together roughly 7 painters and ask them to paint landscapes. It could be a big thing.
That's actually a great idea. I wonder if that's ever been done before.
Oh man, $1 million idea.
And $1 million day. For anyone that's gone out into Georgian Bay, you'll know conditions like this don't happen all the time. So when they do, you make the most of them. From the launch, we've gone through 4 locks, including 2 of the most unique, a couple of small lakes, some slow river sections, and from Orillia to the open water, and all in just 40 nautical miles. This is definitely a must-do day trip for anyone. Just happens to be a little more fun if you happen to have WaveRunners.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Big Shoot Marine Railway. This one is brought to you by PowerBoat Television, North America's favorite recreational boating show. Clearly, you're all big fans. Saturday mornings, Global TV. We're going to be reaching a top speed of about 126 miles per hour, so keep your hands and arms inside the boat at all times. Scream for the... Oh, wait, no, that's Wonderland, right?
Yeah, wrong spot, bud.
Sorry, wrong
yeah,
location.
Yeah.
Summer job from years past. I just learned the maximum speed of this big yellow beauty is 3 to 4 miles an hour, or 200 feet per minute. See? We're having a good time. We're also learning, folks. We get a big round of applause for the Parks Canada staff. Aren't these the nicest people you'll encounter all summer? And we have the manager of operations, Chad Buchner, on board here. So if you have any complaints or comments, I can give you his personal and home phone numbers right now.